Hi everyone, Agnes here. Since I've been sick this week and been coughing, I'm going to do an audio only video for you so that I can pause when I need to cough and you don't have to listen to it. So, I'm going to tackle a topic that many of you are interested in at the moment: how to attract, create a wonderful love with another human being in the very near future. And this video is going to be without any cringy, get them back in 30 seconds, make them love you, make them choose you. None of that stuff's going to be in this video. Okay, if you want that type of video, then I suggest you go to another channel. Okay, so now some real talk. Really wanting to create that loving, connected, secure relationship with a soulmate, and whether you've got your sights on someone specific, maybe an ex or a specific person, or whether you just want a brand new, fresh relationship with someone new, this video will be for you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to create the fertile ground for this to happen. Now, before I do that, for those of you that don't know me, I had 5 relationships. Every single one of them left me for someone else. I had to work on my I'm second best, I'm not good enough, I'm insecure, and really work on my self-love at a deep level. Now, what has transpired? I now have a relationship with a wonderful man who is not an adolescent. He is in a man's body. And he is giving, he looks after himself, he doesn't have any addictions, and he really is the type of man that I always wanted to be with. And we've been together 14 years. So, on that note, I'm going to share with you some things that have really worked for me and have continued to work for me to maintain this fabulous relationship. All right, so now let's talk about really creating love between you and another person. And the thing that I find that is a common theme amongst those of you that are single, or those of you that have had someone but you may have lost them, is that most people are identifying more with being single than they are with being in love. So you can't attract a dream partner, the one that is the one for you, when you're vibing in singlehood, forever singlehood. Like, you can't be in I'm so lonely mode and expect we're engaged energy. Okay? It just doesn't work. That's like ordering, say, a latte, but you're asking the universe for a green smoothie. So when I manifested my wonderful specific person that I'm with today, I didn't just hope that he showed up. I didn't play pretend. I literally walked around like someone who was in a loving relationship, that I could come home from work and talk to that person. I would set the table for 2. I would cook and pretend I was cooking for 2 people. I made some space in my wardrobe so there was room for another person. I journaled about it. I got specific about what I wanted. And I had a very specific affirmation that encompassed everything that I wanted. The physical preference that I had, that we liked the same music, that we went out dancing, that we had great chemistry, and that we were roughly the same age. I also had written down that he got on extremely well with my mum and my family, because that's important and it makes things so much easier. So I put all that down. Now, I did affirmations for self-love. I am loved. I am love. I am lovable. May divine love be made alive in me. I am very, very loved. And I really, really worked on getting my state of love really solid. And I was consistent, very consistent with this. So much so that I would lie in my bed, and sometimes for up to 2 hours in the beginning, because I wasn't good at it, I would practice I am very, very loved. And when I first started on any particular day, sometimes I felt like a 2 out of 10. And I stayed on that bed and I continued to do it until I was at an 8. Now, the first few weeks, it took me a couple of hours. But I really wanted to get out of that unloved, unwanted, rejected, and lonely feeling. So I made that the most important work that I did. So, what happened? Well, because I started to feel better and better, I felt more attractive, I felt sexier, I felt happy in my own skin. I stopped criticizing myself, I stopped comparing myself, and in those days I really reduced my social media consumption because I knew that looking at other couples and looking at how other people were living was making me feel inadequate. Like, if they could do it, why can't I? So I reduced all the things that really dropped my state emotionally and mentally. I really focused on my mental diet. Now, what happened? Guess what? Well, he showed up and we met. Now, firstly, that was through apps because we were both living in separate countries. I will put the playlist down below to my SP journey and the whole ins and outs of all of that. And I will also put down in the description my romantic relationship journey, where all the train wrecks happened. And the same thing happened over and over with different people. So you can see and hear the background of where I've come from, because I had a lot of difficulty in love and in relationships, and especially in romantic sexual relationships. Now, things I had to learn: stop chasing. Things I had to learn: let go of anxiety because I wasn't receiving a text or I wasn't receiving any attention. What I had to learn was to really look within when I felt negative emotion and I felt fear of the future, because fear of the future was a big thing for me in those days. I felt a fear of not being able to maintain and firstly attract a really high quality person, someone who looked after themselves and someone who really looked after the people that were important to them. I had always dated people that were quite self-absorbed, people that put themselves first, and especially once the honeymoon period was over, they would go back to those habits. And then I spent the rest of the relationship trying to get more, being dissatisfied and feeling like I'm not getting enough. And that was what I had to work on. I had to transform and transmute the I'm not good enough, I'm not getting enough, I want more, because all of that was repelling, and I understand that today. I didn't understand it then, but it came with time. So it really is a journey of going within and taking full 100% responsibility for how your relationships have been. I find, having done the inner child work and also reprogramming the mind using affirmations, and I'm not believing this whole robotic affirmations business that you hear on YouTube all the time. It's not the affirmations that are robotic, it's the person that are doing them. So if you can put feeling into your affirmations and enjoy them, because you're affirming all day, every day anyway, you just don't call them affirmations, you call them thoughts. So if you can step away from this belief of robotic affirmations, and say affirmations with love, the way Louise Hay intended them, the way Joseph Murphy intended them, the way Florence Scovel Shinn intended them. Now, all of these people couldn't have been wrong. They knew what affirmations were and they used them like a precious gem. And that's what I did in my relationship. And, you know, I do think it's harder for you guys now because there's so much stuff on YouTube. And you've got to ask yourself, whoever I listen to, I've got to make sure that they know what they're talking about and don't just listen to people blindly and follow advice, because it could cost me dearly, as I know it has for many of my clients that have come to me and then they've had some incredible damage in their relationships because of extremely bad advice. So, ask yourself that whoever you listen to has got what you desire and they've been able to maintain it for at least 5 to 10 years. Those are the people to listen to because they know it, they live it, and they're still in it. Now, some other things that I learned. Once you stop chasing and trying to get and sending texts with pictures of yourself or looking online at social media, once you give up all that addictive behavior and you're left with yourself and you really look at, what do I feel right now? What do I need to do to make myself feel better right now? And you make that a priority, you will start to find so many things that make you feel better that your vibration and your energy and your attractability, your attractiveness will skyrocket. Then the person will want to be with you. They won't be able to get enough of you because you are happy in your own skin and you're radiating that out, and you don't need someone else to make you feel loved for you to feel loved. You don't need someone else to do anything to make you feel happy. You get to the place where you so know how to do that for yourself that when you spend some time sitting quietly and just radiating that out to men, if it's men you want to date, or a specific person, or an ex if it's them you want to be with, or just generally radiating it out to the gender you prefer to date the most, and you do it with a sense of, for once I'm going to give something to all the men around me, to all the women around me as I move through my day, and I'm going to create fertile ground within myself to plant and fertilize the seeds of the most beautiful relationship, because now I'm no longer seeking someone out there to make me feel loved. I am now bringing love up and out into the world, and I know how to do that for myself. That is one of the greatest ways to have a wonderful relationship and to maintain it. And yet, sadly, I say this on a regular basis, and people hear it with their ears, but it is up to you, if you're listening to this, to put that into practice. Make that the priority. If you do that and you stop all these bright, shiny object clickbait techniques and you really do this work, you can have a beautiful relationship in a short period of time. It's not about, I got to attract a different version of them. Just stop all that, okay? It's not different versions of them. It's you being the best version so that you are an asset, a brilliant, wonderful, amazing partner to be with. And when you do that, honestly, as Abraham Hicks says, you'll have to have a process of de-manifestation because you'll have so many options because there are so few people that get into this state. So make yourself one of them. Make yourself someone who is in the 10%, that is comfortable in their own skin, that is quietly confident, that doesn't need to do any look at me about any achievements or any outfits or any look at me being here, being there. Yes, of course, send pictures when you're traveling to your friends and family. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about constantly needing some kind of dopamine hit because you're not feeling good within yourself and you're looking to the outside to do that for you. Give that up. It is not adult behavior. It's childish and it's adolescent, and I know that that's not really who you want to be. So this is a process of maturing, it's a process of unfolding, and it's a process of just sinking into yourself and being connected to Source or God or the universe or infinite intelligence, whatever is your preference. Use the words that resonate with you and bringing that beauty out. And the more you do, honestly, your relationship will be effortless. Just like mine is. I'm not speaking from information. Yes, I've read Neville for 30 years and Florence and Joseph and Catherine Ponder and Louise Hay. But at the end of the day, reading all that didn't do the work for me. I had to take the information off the paper, off the pages of the books, and I had to not only listen but apply and be consistent. What I think really screws it up for many of you is you start stuff but you don't continue. It is those that are consistent and have focus to continue. And I know you say, oh, I don't have a very long attention span. Practice then. Get better at it. Learn to focus. Learn to be consistent, just like those of us before you. If I can give you any words of encouragement, it is those things. So, that is the journey. That is how to attract, create, manifest love in a short period of time. And I know many of you are starting to get anxiety and fear about the end of the year, and I'm going to be alone for the holidays and the new year starting, and I'm not further ahead than I am. Stop all that. Put your future in the hands of Source and say, I'm going to do what I can today from morning till bedtime. And if you do that, one drop of water in the bucket eventually fills the bucket, just as it has for me. So, lots of love, everyone. I hope to be seeing you on video soon, but until I stop coughing, I will be doing some audio-only videos. And that way, you can fully concentrate on the content, what I'm saying, not what I'm doing. All right? Sending you lots of love, everyone. And just know that it's there for you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not defective. It's not for other people and not for you. It's just you may have been spending time on things that just don't have any meat on the bone. That's all. And I did that for years too. Hence the playlist that you might listen to where I went through 5 relationships. So we all get there in the end when we have a strong desire. But boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be nicer to have it sooner rather than later and not waste time because we're doing bright, shiny object techniques and it's just not getting us anywhere. Believe it's there for you. Know it can come. Set yourself up with a really good schedule and follow it and make